The shocking truth on the Gabe Vilardi contract has been revealed as Kevin Cheveldayoff continues building this team for the future with adding new faces to this lineup. The aspirations for this Jets team continues to grow higher as they go on their quest to win a Stanley Cup. We're going to break down everything you need to know on this Gabe Vilardi contract, projected lineups for this team, and so much more, including an RFA later on this episode. Before we get into that, if you're part of the 67% watching this and you haven't hit that sub button yet, make sure to go down and hit it. We'll keep you up to date from everything to do around the league, including your Winnipeg Jets, and you're not going to want to miss it. Well, that, Darius, let's just get straight into this today. We're Jets fans. We did see a big contract be giving out as the Winnipeg Jets extended Gabe Vilardi. The Vilardi party continues for 6 more years. The contract comes in at $7.5 million AAV on a 6-year deal. They avoid arbitration. They lock up Vilardi for the future. And what is your initial reaction to this contract that I think is going to be one of the best in the league for the years to come?
This contract to start, I mean, maybe some people might say it looks ugly, but it's going to age beautifully, I think. And Gabe Vilardi, a lot of people forget he's still relatively young, right? 25, going to be 26 years old, and had a career year last year. He had 61 points in 71 games. He was almost a point a game player last season. So this is great value at 7.5 for what is he going to do next? Maybe 80 points. Maybe he's going to be a point a game player if you play all 82 games, right? So if you can get between 80 to 90 points for $7.5 million for the next 6 years, that's great value, especially considering that the Jets, and we'll get to it, later in the video, have a lot of salary cap space still left right now this season heading into, or this offseason heading into the season, I should say. And the salary cap's going up a significant amount every single summer after this one. So roughly $10 to $12 million every single summer. So they're in a great spot. This contract's just going to continue to age beautifully. We knew that Gabe Vilardi was going to get locked up. You're not going to let this guy go to arbitration or anything like this. Actually, that could have happened. And I think Jets fans are very happy that they avoided that and they just got it done. They got him locked up to a fair amount, I think, for what he brings to the table and heading into the future as well. So pretty tidy work from Kevin Cheveldayoff to get this done here. Relatively early in the summer. You lock this guy up, and again, career year last year, he's only continued to get better. He's a right shot. He plays the heavy style, goes to the net, all of these things. The Jets needed to retain this player. We knew it was probably going to happen. It was just a matter of when, but Jets fans get their answer. Now they can shift their focus to some other contracts that need to get signed and start filling out the rest of the team as well.
Because I think the biggest thing is with arbitration, you could kind of screw your franchise. We've seen with Bowen Byram and the Buffalo Sabres going to arbitration, signing the 2-year, which walks them straight into being a UFA. But you do have Gabe Vilardi locked up on 7.5 for the next 6 seasons. And the big thing is, Vilardi's a guy that can score. We've seen in the past 3 years, having 20 goals. He had one season where he played center, so if you need to slide him in a pinch, you can still do this as well. But this contract is going to age very well. As the cap gets higher, this cap percentage is going to get so much lower, and it shows what they're building with this franchise. Gabe Vilardi is going to get such a bigger role with Ehlers out of the lineup. We've seen last year having his career high 18 minutes per game time on ice. But Darius, looking at this lineup, would you be shocked if Gabe Vilardi even got more ice time than this and finally hit that 30-goal plateau?
I wouldn't be shocked. And I think that he's ready to kind of take off. Ever since he came to Winnipeg in that trade, of course, with the LA Kings, he's taken his game, I think, to another level. And now he has, he's probably feeling pretty good. He's locked up, right? You never really know what's going to happen with some of these scenarios. And we've seen that the last couple of years, RFAs don't always return to their teams, of course, right? So I'm sure that that's all out of the way. He's got a hefty brand new contract, so he's going to be feeling good going into next year. He wants to continue to get better, and he's only getting better and older. So not that that's necessarily a good thing in sport, of course, but he's getting more experience, of course, and played in playoff games and some big games last season in a game 7 too, right? So I think that he's only going to continue to get better for this team. He plays top line minutes already, and again, if you can get 80 to 90 points out of him, which would be, I guess, the next step, right, Mark? Like at this point with him putting 71 points, you have a really good player there. And yes, you lost, and sorry to bring it up, Jets fans, you lost Ehlers in free agency, but you still have Scheifele, who had a great year last year as well, all things considered, and Kyle Connor up there on the first line. So you still have a lot of offensive output on this team, and I think Vilardi is only going to take it to another level at this point.
And I mean, with Taves and Nyquist bringing in veterans to this team, Tanner Pearson on the fourth, Jets fans, how would you fill this lineup out? Because once Adam Lowry gets in the lineup fully healthy, going into game one, this is going to be a bit of a crunch lineup where you have a lot of guys looking to play. Where do you fit some of these guys? Where do you fit Morgan Barron within the lineup? Let us know down below. But with kind of like you alluded to, this is a team that still has just 10.5 million in cap space. You can still go out to pick up a goaltender. You can pick up a new defenseman. You can pick up a forward. You don't need a goaltender, but listen, you can pick up another backup. But this is a team that does have one player they still need to figure out, and that is Dylan Samberg. He was previously on a $1.4 million contract, looking like an absolute stud playing next to Pionk. From Scotiastat, we do see a projection of a 3-year, 3.9. And Darius, I'm going to kind of throw this to you. They need to sign Samberg. They need to lock him up. Would you be shocked if this comes in on a longer term contract instead of maybe a bridge deal?
No, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. And to go back to last season, like you just brought up, the contract that he was on was probably one of the best value contracts in the entire league for what he was making. Under $2 million for the output that he had, both offensively and what he offered to the team defensively. And I kept saying it last year, this guy was kind of like the glue guy. We hear a lot about glue guys in the room. He's quite literally the glue guy in terms of the on ice product, because when he went out due to injury, the Jets took a step back. They were off to a hot start. He got injured. They were kind of sputtering a little bit. I'm not saying it was all because of that, of course, but that was something that I did notice. And then they got back on track when he, came back into the lineup. So he's a big part of this team. I do think that they're going to strive for a longer term deal for the same reason that they went longer term with a guy like Vilardi, for example. So whatever the cap hit is, it starts to look better as time goes on. It'll age better. I don't know if he's going to have any interest in that, but I do think it's also interesting that his cap hit is under, or his projected cap hit, I should say, is under 4 million now, because earlier this season, when we were looking at some of the projections, it was around 5 million, which I think is very interesting. So it's going to be, weird in terms of, what the contract negotiations look like, because obviously earlier this season was ranked higher. Now it's a little bit lower. Maybe the AAV comes up a little bit. Maybe they go long-term, right? And I think that ultimately you probably want to go long-term, because yes, there is some risk with that, but if you go long-term, the contract's just going to age better and you have your team solidified heading into the future. So, they still have a ton of cap space to work with. You still want to fill in the team in some other ways. Like you mentioned, Lowry's going to come back in. That makes them deeper, but I still think that they have to add a little bit more on the wings as well.
Because I think that's a thing. If they can get Samberg in, even if you wanted to do a long-term deal when the cap shoots up, once again, like we see with the Gabe Vilardi, this is slowly going to be a smaller cap percentage against the team, so they have so much to work with. And I mean, looking at the defense, obviously on that lefty right there, you're going to have him slide in Samberg. On that as well, you can still free up room if you want to move on from Logan Stanley, Colin Miller. You can work out more deals to make more room on this team. And I think, listen, Jets fans, you lost Ehlers, you added some new faces, but the Jets are in the perfect situation to continue adding while they still have a relatively young core. The best goaltender in the league in Connor Hellebuyck, maybe not in the playoffs, but regular season for sure. What's your guys' thoughts on this? Listen, I don't hate Connor Hellebuyck, but what's your guys' thoughts on this? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, so keep your eye out for that. But Jets fans, if you enjoy this, we love doing content. If you want us to cover something in particular, let us know down below, and take care.